Here comes a new challenger. Ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, this is Modern Escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, the king of Iron Fist Tournament. Joining me today, master of Shaolin and ninja of the Lin Kuei clan, it's Biggie Zero.
Oh, I like that, apart from the zero bit.
Sub-Zero, innit? Come on.
I know.
Reporter and Chinese Kung Fu master, it's Chunk Andy.
Hello.
Heir to the Zaibatsu Corporation fortune and former king of the Iron Fist winner, it's Gadget Kazuma.
Greetings.
And pink blob that can eat anything it wants, which in itself morphs him into an inanimate object or absorbs the characteristics of his victims. It's Kirby Stig.
I'd just like to point out, I'm the one that actually has a Tekken tattoo here.
That's why I did it. Welcome to the show. Before we get into this show, please consider becoming one of our sexy and incredibly cool patrons. Help us divide and conquer the podcasting world. Details are in our show notes, but mainly check out our website, modernescapism.co.uk, for more exquisite content and links to everything we do. And don't forget to give us those 5-star reviews. Come on.
Come on.
Oh, we're starving for them. I want to eat them.
Love a nice
The
review.
reviews.
The attention fuels oodles.
I know everyone asks for them
Sustenance.
and we joke about it and everything, but it does actually help. So
It really does.
Yes.
get it reviewed.
And we need help.
Speaking of help, it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
You may already know, but he doesn't, because it's time for Biggie's Breaking News.
It's been a big week of trailers, hasn't it? So,
yes.
who has seen the Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny trailer?
What a shite
Seen 'em all.
name for a film.
Guilty.
The Dial of Destiny.
Guilty. I have seen this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Next.
I personally are excited and a bit worried as well.
Why are you excited?
Is it-
I think it looks great. It's not you guys.
Bec-
Fucking
yeah,
naysayers.
because
Yeah,
the
you
excitement
lot are
is
so
there.
you two especially, Gadget and Noodles. Everything these days is just like that looks shit. That looks shit.
We've
The
aged into the
de-aging looked
grumpiness.
amazing.
You are.
yes.
Yeah,
Did
de-aging
it-
looks
it
fantastic.
really look amazing.
Incredible. There's one shot
on
where
that
he's on a
later.
horse, which isn't actually Harrison Ford. It's a body double, so they've had to
Yeah.
actually put his face over someone else's that looks a bit dodgy. But other
And
than that,
that's what worries me a little bit. I think I'm going to be spending the whole movie trying to work out which bits are clearly Ford and which ones are clearly not. I think there's gonna be a
anything
lot
where
of
an
that, I think.
8-year-old man is running fast.
Exactly. So I'm wondering how jarring it's going to be and how much
Are they supposed to be?
action
Is he
he's
supposed to be
actually
like
involved in.
50, 60 or something like that in it?
No, I think he's supposed to be his
on
actual
edge.
age because it isn't set in the late 60s or something, so that would have him
But he's
Yeah.
just kept his
being
he's
in his
kept
80s.
He's kept his like finesse and his.
I mean,
skills.
Harrison Ford is like one of the best punchers in Hollywood, so you don't lose
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you can't deny that. And I bet he is quite solid in real life. I want to fight him.
It was just the
Fucking
music, and it's different people
Yeah.
involved. It's got some better writers this time.
I've been stung by this before.
I know the last one was Spielberg, and usually that's kind of a
Seal of quality.
seal of quality, but
Well,
even Spielberg has these bad moments.
Yeah.
I mean, I like
We'll see.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge in it. She seems like she's going to have a pretty funny turn.
Mm.
Yeah, but you can't have a strong female character in a film about a strong male, can we?
No,
No.
true.
Ooh.
That's against the rules on the internet.
You just know it. You know what's coming.
unless she's there going, Indy, help me.
Yeah, unless
not
she's
interested.
trapped in a basket.
Yeah. That's all I want.
Next up, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I haven't actually seen this. I haven't caught this yet.
It's good.
Yep,
Good trailer.
got our first look at Adam Warlock.
He looks good. The kid looks great.
Got Soul Stone in his head, so there's going to be
Yep.
some kind of tinkering going on there.
I love Will Poulter as well. I think
Yeah,
he's
Will
ace.
Poulter's great.
What else is he in?
We're the Millers. He was meant to be Pennywise as well.
Was
He was.
He's
he was
one
in,
of those actors that's in a bit of everything.
Yeah, you'll know him when you see him. He was in a Black Mirror episode. He was in
Midsommar.
Midsummer, yeah.
Oh, I know who he
Yeah.
is.
The eyebrow guy.
Yeah, he's got serious,
The
intense eyebrows.
He's got eyebrows.
No, but like proper intense looking eyebrows.
I've got mine covered up today.
And also who's the other thing that's in it, Oodles? The high
Come on, evolutionary.
High Evolution, that's it. I was going to say Inquisitor, but that's not it. Yeah. So
That's Star Wars.
Could be a crossover.
yeah, it looks like there's going to be a bit more backstory into Rocket, and someone's going to die.
Which is
clearly.
some of the best Guardians material, the Rocket stuff. I think that was a glimpse of Rocket's girlfriend on there. But the High Evolutionary is going to be unless they do that Marvel thing where they kill off the good villains. Yay! I don't want
Which they've
that
got
to
form
happen.
for.
Yeah, he's a great villain. Way bigger villain than someone like Thanos. But Hollywood
all
loves
like that.
Thanos.
They just
Yeah,
love.
they killed Ultron too early.
They killed Ultron. They killed. Spoiler
Gore.
for Thor, but the Gore.
Yeah, Gore. Ego. They killed all the good ones. All the actual powerful baddies that are way more powerful than Thanos. They kill them off.
This is why they can't
Oh,
rush Galactus.
I'd be dead in half an hour.
Dead in a post credit.
Yeah. No. Floating in space in his chair.
Moving
What else we
swiftly on. Super Mario Brothers, the second trailer is out.
I'm
I didn't know there was one of them.
I'm more into it this time because you get a bit more
Yeah.
of the story, and I don't care about the Chris Pratt voice at this point now. Like the rest of the film looks good.
I didn't know there was a second trailer. I didn't watch the first trailer until about 3 weeks after.
Charlie Day's Luigi's great. It's the right
No,
voice.
what does he say? Are they doing Italian American accents then?
Nope.
Not really.
Chris Pratt is just Chris Pratt. He did do a Let's Go though.
Yeah.
And
Anyone
Rainbow-
can do that.
They're all just doing the normal voices. So I don't understand why everyone's getting so worked about Chris Pratt. Every single one
Yeah.
of them, apart from whoever's playing Toad. It's Michael Key, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keegan
Yeah.
Michael Key. Apart from him, everyone else is just doing a normal voice. So
No,
why does
that's
everyone...
probably best? It's probably thought best though, isn't it? Because they are actors.
Yeah, exactly. So just who cares at this point?
Yeah.
As long as the material's good. I mean, all this visual stuff in there looks great.
Yeah, visually it looks stunning, and there's was it references to Mario Kart and the Smash Brothers in there?
Oh, is
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah. The trailer opens with Mario running into a Smash Brothers arena and getting his face stomped in by Donkey Kong. So
Oh, Donkey Kong's in it.
Yep.
everyone's in it, man. Literally everybody,
I think Captain Falcon's going to be in it.
probably somewhere.
Somebody already. I can't tell if it's this parody or satire or what. It's Twitter, so it probably wasn't. Somebody called Mario going down Rainbow Road as woke propaganda.
I've seen that.
Oh my word!
What? Oh, 'cause
Tell
it's
me
a
you
rainbow.
haven't
Oh,
ever
just saw
played
a
Mario
rainbow.
Kart. Yeah, it's all a rainbow. So it's
fucking hell.
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
Mario's so LGBTQ plus. Oh no,
yeah.
why not?
Just wait until he sees Bowsette, he'll lose his fucking mind.
I did. I fucking
Wait
did.
till
I had
Petter
no
find
word
out they're
with myself.
throwing tortoises.
No, I like it. I think it looks good. And the oh, damn it, I've forgotten who they were now. But the writers of this have got pedigree for a good film. I wish. Yeah, I was really annoying. I forgot, but I remember hearing it on a podcast, Empire podcast. So
Have they done animated films? Because usually you want
Yeah.
animated people to do animated films, not non-animated.
sorry, I wish I should have got this up. But they did Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Okay.
Oh, fucking right film.
Yep.
That's such a good film.
So if they can get the
That's
gag,
actually made me excited for this.
Yeah,
now.
if
I
you
wasn't
can get
excited at all.
the gag count that they get in Teen Titans Go into this,
Yes. If you've not
Great.
watched Teen Titans, watch it, you idiots. It's so good.
then it is.
Cool. What else we got?
Next up, Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I have seen
Look
this.
shit.
It looks fucking terrible.
I'm not a fan of the movies in general, but
I'm not. Look
The,
shit.
the only kind of saving grace this does have is it's by the Bumblebee team, and that was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Well-
it was actually. Out of all of them, that's the best one in it.
Yeah. So, but it doesn't have
Yeah.
the characters from that film in it. So
No, it's not the same Bumblebee, is it?
No, and Haley Steinfeld obviously was in that, and she's not in this. So
Yeah, it's like I know it's not, but it's almost as if the Bumblebee's a separate continuity.
Yeah, just
You know what I mean? Because in the first film, Bumblebee came down from space. Do you know what I mean?
I don't think
Who
it's
knows?
really ascribe interesting lore to these films. They're robots
They're not
punching
anymore.
each other.
no. It was originally just like the first one, and then we found out that. I mean, I've read the synopsis. I've not watched the films, but it's the last night like that they were around during King Arthur.
Medieval times.
Medieval times, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not up on my Transformers expanded universe lore,
What's
but
fucking wrong with you, man?
I don't get that these particular robots transform from upright standing robots to giant ape robots. I thought the whole point of a Transformer was to be in disguise.
Yeah, to blend in.
Yeah.
The Beast Wars Transformers, they were on a different planet than Earth anyway. They were nothing to do with Earth, so I don't know why they're here. It's weird.
Because
They were on their own planet.
Because they're running out of ideas and need to keep the franchise ticking along.
Oh, it's fucking shy.
I mean,
Shy.
more than anything, CGI doesn't look particularly good in this one. Just watching it, everything looks really janky.
It's just shite, man. You can't tell the difference between robots and stuff.
No.
It's fucking crap. It's crap, garbage. If it's some of your favourite films, get
You're
better
wrong.
taste.
Get better.
Well, hats off to this one, because not only is the concept insane, so is the trailer. Cocaine Bear.
There's a trailer for that.
yeah.
It's amazing. It looks so mad and just
They don't do that
something
much
different.
coke.
It's brilliant, mate. Have you seen the trailer?
No.
Do you know this? You know it's based on a true story, right?
I was going to
It's
say it's
based
true,
on a
isn't
true
it?
story.
Other than
Yeah, I know
the
it's
people
based
that
on real.
the bear obviously goes on malls because they obviously had to make some kind of film out of it.
I was going to say, wasn't it a case of like the bear in real life lived for about 5 minutes?
it ate like packets full of like huge packets full of coke.
Like for a
I bet
period
you
of
couldn't
5
even feel
minutes.
its lips.
For a period of 5 minutes, it will have been the most dangerous apex predator on Earth, but it only lived for 5 minutes.
Peaked too early, didn't it?
Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
they made like a horror comedy out of it basically, and
Yeah.
Elizabeth Banks says she's taken inspiration from like Sam Raimi, so all that kind of
Oh.
Yeah, she directed it. So
yeah, all of that kind of.
looks
I
amazing.
do want to see it. Yeah.
Okay. I'll watch it at home. I'm not going to the cinema to see Cocaine Bear.
It's got the potential to be amazing or shit. Nothing in between. It's not going to be an average film.
Yeah.
It'll either
Yeah.
be one of the best daft films ever made or one of the worst.
Yeah,
I'm going to love it.
of course you are.
Yeah, you were.
Unless it's good, then you'll hate it.
Absolutely.
And finally up, The Last of Us TV show had another premiere of its trailer.
That's it.
Yeah. Proper story one as well. It looks fucking great. Like, it's the most we've seen of it so far.
Awesome. I hope
Yeah.
it's good.
Fully invested. I'm
Got
looking
it.
forward to that.
Release date, wasn't it? It's middle of
But I know
January.
what happens in it.
It's in January. Yeah, it looks very kind of a lot of the story beats, the same story beats as the film, the game story, and then it looks like they're just going to kind of fill it in with a few
Yeah, it's got some new stuff in
side
it.
stories. and
Rather than
stuff.
how the game just skips seasons, they've got a lot of time to spread it out, haven't they?
Yeah.
They could
January the 16th it comes out.
Do you know what's quite nice from the trailer? It looks as though Ashley Johnson plays her mum in it.
I didn't know she had one.
Oh.
I think it's probably just a flashback or
Mm.
like a
Okay.
They said that both Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson were in it and not in a cameo format. Like, they will play characters in it, but not.
Oh well,
Ellie.
maybe she's. It might not necessarily be her. It might obviously be Ellie, but it looked like
Do you think Troy Baker's going
the
to
way the
pout into
trailer's
the camera?
Of course he is. Of course he is.
Let's hope there's not a whole episode on crafting.
There's going to be a whole episode of him pushing her across a river on some wood
On a pontoon.
pallet. Yeah,
Oh, that's it.
What's that going to be available on then?
It'll be Now TV. Because it's HBO.
I'll wait while it's all out and then I'll get a free trial.
And of course, the internet has kicked off because Nico Parker's been cast as Sarah Miller, and apparently she shouldn't be allowed to be dark skinned.
No, not in my Last of Us.
100% agree.
Get them off the screen.
Listeners, Biggie was rolling his eyes when he said that.
Disgusting.
So next up, that's it for the traders. So in the world of gaming, Microsoft is selling mini hoodies for Xbox controllers. That's right. Quoted,
How many have you got,
it's the
Candy?
time of the year. It's the time of the year where you may want to cozy up with a nice hoodie. This winter, don't let your controllers fill out with a mini controller hoodie. I mean, what the...
That's fucking adorable. I've just looked it up.
I really want one.
Please don't get one. Just,
Can you play it while the hoodie's on?
I mean,
You
the
still play it?
$24.99. I'm not going to order one, but
That's at least you can get 4 of them, Candy.
I know. Listen, I'm cold. My controller's going to be cold. I'm not cruel.
Candy, have you pre-ordered one?
No, but I might do.
Just bought them.
If there's a
Christmas
Skyrim
coming
one or a Fallout one, 100% she's buying
Goes
one.
along with that
Exactly.
Xbox fridge she's got, and you're such a fucking weirdo.
I know. Yeah, they absolutely, any kind of merch, I will buy it.
If anything, I'd just use it on my genitalia.
What? I just said genitalia.
I
then.
heard that too.
What? Can you roll reverse? Can you reverse that, please? What did you say?
I said, if anything, I'd wear it on my genitalia while playing.
You must have
Oh, so your
strange
genitalia
shapes.
is controller shaped.
I was going to say, how does that work?
Well,
What it is.
yeah, no, because the controller has kind of 2 things that hang down the
Yep.
side, don't there? So you could put your balls into that,
How thin
and
is
then
his dick?
and then wrap it over and put the hood over you.
Oh,
I'm
so
going for
the
the
way
extra
I was
large.
imagining it
I'm
was
going for the
like-
extra large hoodie. What's wrong with you?
Or here's a thing: wear underpants. You fucking weirdo.
No, I was imagining it the other way, like dick through the one hole and then your bum hole has another poop chute.
So
I
it
don't
just
think
kind of
it-
like hangs underneath you.
Front to back, yeah. And then the hood covers no man's land.
Candy, personal question: when was the last time you actually saw some male
It
genitals?
has been a while.
You can tell. Offers, please.
Anyway, boys.
Get into our PO box.
Yes, boy, she is
Sex-
single. Ready
Send
to
in
mingle.
Your, send in your flowers to a PO box.
Moving swiftly on.
We should get a PO
the,
box.
Swiftly on.
the arguments between Sony and Xbox continue as Sony announced that their PlayStation Plus subscription service is still struggling. So Xbox basically came out to, well, why don't you just do what we're doing? And
Properly. Do it properly.
yep,
It
So, like,
really
Sony
just
crap,
does feel
aren't
like Phil Spencer's just like seeing news, like the news updates from Sony and going, what are they doing?
I
We're
feel
still
like Phil
kicking
Spencer's
off
like
about the COD.
Phil Spencer's in his kindness is like, I still want you to succeed, guys. I know you're the number one competitor, but just do it like we're doing. Come on, it works.
Well,
It works.
Competition
You
is
can
good
do
for
it.
the business, though.
Of course it is.
Funny enough, I
And
cancelled my
Microsoft are
yesterday.
absolutely not frightened of Sony in any shape or form.
They
They
don't
might
need
not be
to
winning
be.
in consoles, but they're
Yeah.
not fucking scared of them. Microsoft can turn around and go, you make all your games on our platform. Do you know what I mean? You need us. That kind of thing. It's funny,
And
man.
speaking
Funny.
of,
Sony are crap.
Still in Xbox world, Halo Infinite's multiplayer creative director has announced he's leaving the studio. Tom French shared the news that after 11 and a half years on Halo, he's stepping out from his Spartan armor for the last time today to head off to new adventures. So basically, he's been there, I would say, pretty much from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
I wish you'd not told me that. I'm not going to sleep tonight now with worry.
But with Infinite's delays with all its multiplayer, and
Maybe he
Other
doesn't need
stuff
the
that's been
job. He
going-
hasn't got a job to do.
they have had issues, so I guess maybe it's time for a fresh start, perhaps.
I
Oh,
mean,
God, it must.
they've had more than issues.
Well, yeah, the main game was delayed for a start.
Hey, it was the second coming when that came out. You guys were loving it.
The campaign was great, but the
It's
multiplayer
great.
is just
You're
dying
supposed to
a
be
death.
still playing it. It's fucking Halo. Back in the day, that's all people played. Even I loved Halo.
I love playing Halo when we get on and get enough of us together and play it. But there's loads of
Nobody
other
wants to.
There's loads of other games out. Like there's new shooters out. There's pretty, the Warzone comes out, and then the Warhammer game comes out. It's like it's fun. It ain't good enough to have me playing it.
I
full
suppose
time.
when the first Halo came out, there wasn't as loads of drops of games coming out all the time, was there?
Certainly wasn't as many online shooters.
No, definitely not. It came out at perfect time. I fucking loved playing Halo multiplayer back in the day. I didn't own the Xbox, but when I went to my pals, some good nights.
Over to
Read
the
the room,
world
Biggie.
of film.
Come on.
Pulp Fiction and Avengers star Samuel L. Jackson has pushed back against Tarantino's recent comments. So Tarantino came out and basically said, you have all these actors who have become famous playing these characters, but they're not movie stars, right? Captain America is the star, or Thor is the star. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that. I think that's been said a zillion times. But it's like, it's these franchise characters that become a star. So Jackson retorted and said, it takes an actor to be one of those particular characters, and the sign of movie stardom has always been what? Arses in seats? What are we talking about? That's not a big controversy for me to know that apparently these actors are movie stars. Chadwick Boseman is Black Panther. You can't refute that. He's a movie star.
Tarantino's just pissed off that they all keep their shoes on.
We talked about this in our Discord, and I think there's merits to both sides. What they were getting at was, at one point, it used to be, I'm going to see the next Arnold Schwarzenegger film. I'm going to the next Stallone film, Van Damme film. It wasn't a character or anything. It was the next. It was that movie star. It was their next film you were going to see. Whereas now it's, I'm going to see the next Marvel film, regardless of who's in it. But
I bet
on the flip side,
go on. Sorry.
On the flip side, what I said about that was, those films have given these people like Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth, others, Chadwick Boseman, a bigger platform, and people, and people then became more interested in seeing their work outside of the MCU.
Mm. Yeah, Tom Holland has owned Spider-Man now, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I bet if you did a consensus on the street, 100 people, you showed a picture of Robert Downey Jr. and you went, "Who's that?" I bet most of them would say Iron Man.
You're probably right. You're probably right, especially with Chris Evans.
That's kind of what I think Tarantino's saying. I'm not sticking up for him. I mean, I love his films, but I don't like him.
It's just another in a long line of kind of. It's the boomer directors getting pissed off that things are changing.
It seems like jealousy to me. It really screams jealousy in a weird way. Like,
I mean, these films are still an attraction. A Tarantino film.
Yeah, people go.
It's still
to the cinema to see
films.
films.
It's still an attraction. So I don't know why he's getting so worked up about it.
Because he's trying to put people off the fact that he's got one more film in him. One left. And you've got to retire. That's the rule.
Yeah.
Next up.
Next.
In reference to the Indie Trader earlier, Disney researchers have created a new neural network that can alter the visual age of actors in TV or film. Technology will allow TV or film producers to make actors appear older or younger using an automated process that will be less costly and time-consuming than previous methods.
Great.
And some of the stuff I've seen for that looks really cool, very clever.
This is cool, right? This is all cool, well and good and stuff, but they talk about, this, that, and that. But this is stopping new actors becoming actors if they're just going to make the established ones younger again, surely.
No, it means you get a lot better creativity at lower budgets. Because if you think traditionally, if you want to do a scene of an actor and their character is older, they have to spend 5 hours in makeup to get it done. Like,
or get somebody that looks like them.
Or get another actor. Either way, equally as expensive. It takes time.
It looks poor half the time.
It takes time. Yeah, unless you really spend the money on it and have like the best makeup artist, it can look shit. It's like,
well, look at that actor that used to play Tom Hanks older. He was in Apollo 13. He was in a few of his other films as older. Saving Private Ryan is in that. It's the same. They use the same guy because he looks like older Tom Hanks. What's wrong with that?
Might not be practical for every actor.
I suppose.
But also the point is, it works for lower budget films. Like Disney will license this technology, in the same way that that big LED screen stage that Disney invented for The Mandalorian allows people to do really high concept sci-fi stuff or fantasy stuff cheaper because they don't have to build a load of sets and they can like alter them in real time and stuff like that. This is good technology. I like it.
Yeah, it is, but I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like Tarantino. I kind of like old style cinema in a way.
There's also mentioned somewhere that actors could also sign off their rights so that after they've passed away, they could continue to act in movies.
Biggie, you've got stowaway. Keep this in.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, that barricade thing sure worked, didn't it?
Absolutely brilliant, that.
The bucket didn't even land on her head.
Look at it.
The bucket didn't even land on her head.
Biggie, it's not going to work when the cupboard door goes the same way as the normal door.
Don't tell him about physics. You'll blow his mind. You'll blow his mind.
She's clearly got my superhuman strength.
Cupboard door's still open, mate. It's bugging me. Can you go close it, please?
You need to have opposing forces that just work with each other.
Perfect. Thank you. Unbelievable, Jeff.
Right, moving on. Director Ang Lee is now playing a film about Bruce Lee. And he hasn't had to look far for a star because he's casting his own son, Mason Lee, in the lead, who's apparently been working out and trying to buff himself up, with all muscles and stuff for the role.
What, 0% body fat, you mean?
Yeah, that's the one.
So many Lees in one
Lee
sentence.
was so ripped. Mm-hmm. He was so ripped. Like, no body fat whatsoever. Just...
He was so very specifically ripped as well, though. Like he's still like a tiny guy. But
he's tiny.
He's like the most compact, like, collection of pure muscle that you've ever seen in cinema.
His body was insane.
Like, he's got no bones in there. It's just muscle all the way to the core. No organs.
You won't see anyone like that ever again. It's one of a kind. It's just absolutely...
Yeah.
It looks uncomfortable to sit down being him. Like, it's nothing soft at all. Just...
It'd be interesting to see what Ang Lee does with that, because he obviously has a history of martial art movies, but whether he'll just do a lot of action stuff, or would he actually go into all the deep stuff about Bruce Lee? It'd be interesting to see.
I wonder if the Bruce Lee estate has signed off on this, because they're famously litigious over his image.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, like Dragon. Remember Dragon, the Bruce Lee story?
Yeah.
Nearly didn't get off the ground.
Like, I don't think it would be one to say, like, if there has ever been anything negative to Bruce Lee's private life, that'll never come out in a film like this, will it, if they have their way.
Speaking of martial arts, the game Sifu is getting a live-action movie adaptation from John Wick writer, described as basically, yes, John Wick meets M. Night Shyamalan's Old.
I forgot that game even came out. I've never even played it. Is it good?
It's good. Yeah, I like it. It's you really feel like you're fighting in that game. It'd be interesting to see what they decide to do about a movie version there. So
I would say, how is it going to work for a movie?
Does it have a story?
Yeah, it has a story. Standard revenge story.
I've got to go and kill
but
the
as
boss.
your character goes on and upgrades, you can actually die, but then you come back at a slightly older version of yourself.
They'll use that Disney technology, won't they?
Exactly.
There you go.
I don't think you should like start making a film and have the concept be anything meets M. Night Shyamalan.
No,
I really feel like that should be a barrier to you getting funding.
I've heard that old shite.
It is shite.
It's awful. It's the worst. It's at the bottom of my films from last year.
But the beach makes you old.
Looking forward to that.
I mean, the concept could really work. It's just the execution.
People screaming out for like seafood game film coming out. God, it's happening now.
Literally dozens of them.
All tens of them.
Next up, our filmmaker S.S. Rajamouli has won the Best Director for the New York Film Critics Circle Awards. Well deserved.
Yeah, friend of the show. You got anything to add on that, Stig, as our Indian correspondent?
Hey, I'll put it in there. I just thought it was quite nice to see a Western audience recognising, it
is a fucking proper good film, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's there's plenty of proper good films that come out of the Asian or Indian market that we just never hear about and never get recognition. Yeah. So it's nice that they actually do. When they actually do.
I love the cinematography out in Indian films. They fucking know how to work a camera, them fuckers. I swear, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane some of the stuff that they pull off. And they do it relatively cheaper than anyone else in the world can do it. It's just fucking marvellous magic.
Sponsor of the show, Bethesda, Todd Howard, has shed more light on Amazon's up-and-coming Fallout adaptation. Speaking on a podcast, the show's executive producer stated that the up-and-coming series is not a retelling of a game story. Rather, it will take place in a separate area of the world's map.
So, as executive producer, Candy, can you tell us anything about this?
Has anyone seen any of the pictures on Reddit or any of the leaks?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Don't go on Reddit.
It looks... the vault stuff, like the interior of the vaults looks so accurate to the games. It looks incredible, but it looks like it's... Some of the pictures, I think it's set in several vaults. So I think it was vaults 33 and 32 we've seen pictures of. which kind of suggests it's more towards New Vegas-y type area, or certainly towards the West Coast.
So,
Have you seen Walton Goggins yet? What's he doing?
No, we haven't seen any cast members yet.
I hope he's a ghoul.
He is a ghoul. There's a picture of him in front of a sign that says Walton Goggins Ghoul. But that might.
He looks like one.
He does. He doesn't need much makeup.
No, he's such a good actor. Love him.
I'm
only going to watch it for him.
I actually hope we're going to get a trailer at the Game Awards because there's been one official screenshot that's come out.
I hope we don't, so Jeff Keighley can't lord it over everybody.
It'll be the Jeff show again. But yeah, there's been one official screenshot that's come out, and that definitely looks like it's potentially from a trailer. So let's
be absolutely crystal clear here, Candy. If it came out and everyone says it's shit, you're still going to love it.
Of course I am. I love Fallout 76.
Again, all tens of you.
It still has a loyal fan base.
Of 10 people.
Which you dropped out of when they started charging monthly.
Yes. That's when I fell out of love with it.
They charge monthly for
Yes, for Fallout First.
Oh, fuck.
It is optional, though. You get an extra
You get
camp.
free flags and stuff.
You don't get much. You can have your own private server, although I don't know why you would, because there's only about 30 people per server anyway, and you can have
gives you more unlocks than the battle pass as well.
Yeah, and you can have a second camp, I think.
Everyone was screaming for a battle pass in a Fallout game. It's what the world wanted. Fucking stupid, man. Have a word with your fucking husband, Candy, and make a good game again.
Also, I watched that entire interview, and it was about 3 hours long, and I loved every moment of it. Actually, one thing I did take from that interview was when he was talking about... Actually, he wasn't talking about Starfield, he was talking about upcoming games. And he said he made a point of it was a conscious decision that they would sometimes take away the fidelity to make those worlds as big as they are. So every NPC is actually going about their business, whereas in most games you just wouldn't see it, but they are still happening. So he says they take away a bit of fidelity and a bit of like frames per second. So to me, that sounded like he was alluding to the fact that Starfield might be 30 frames per second. Yikes.
I don't have an Xbox anyway, I don't give a fuck. Next.
Speaking of fan bases, Rings of Power fans were shocked as the star Joseph Morley quit his role as Adar ahead of season 2.
One of the best characters in the fucking show.
Yeah,
yep.
Sad about
that.
But he will be replaced by Peaky Blinders actor Sam Hazeldine.
I'm not really sure who that is.
I'm trying to think
this guy.
If it's the person I think it is,
he played
he's
in Peaky
pretty
Blinders.
good.
It's not Cillian Murphy, that's all I care about.
No, I think it's his brother in the show.
Oh, the one with the moustache?
Yes, who I'm thinking it is.
Let's get down to town and get fucking Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders. I can't do a Brummie accent.
It's a good show.
Alright, Stig, I'll watch it then, fucking hell.
George Sewell. So no, I don't know who he was. I can't remember who George Sewell was.
Fucking Peaky Blinders. Next.
Anyway, sadly, I'm gutted about this. Midnight Club has been cancelled by Netflix.
Yeah, that's a bummer because they left it
I thought
on
you
an
meant the
open
game
ending
by
as well.
Rockstar then.
Yeah, well, John Flanagan's actually gone on and actually posted basically the ideas that he had for season 2 and maybe a third one. He's actually explained what's happened to all the characters that they had planned.
He did
so
come
if you
out
actually
and
want
say,
to find out, you can read that.
Yeah, he did come out and say at the end of the last one, if it doesn't get renewed, that he would release it on Twitter or something. But I think there's something to be said about assuming that it's going to get renewed because Netflix, you can't count on anything. And I think quite a lot of people watched it as well.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
It says stupid metrics.
Yeah.
They don't seem to take into account that some people might not watch it straight away
because they're watching other things.
Yeah.
It's kind of at the point now where it's not worth getting invested in a first season of a new show on Netflix. You got to wait. Yeah. Once I've confirmed a second season, then I'll start watching it.
Hey, they renewed Sandman, so the goodies in my back. I was going to cancel them this year, but I've decided not to. Just renewed. But
public pressure on
still
that
good
one.
in my books. Yeah, I know. They'll cancel it after season 2. I'm telling you now. Bastards.
Speaking of renewed series, The Mandalorian will be returning with his pal Grogu on March the 1st on Disney+.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I liked the last season. It was good.
You need to watch 2 episodes of Boba Fett to know where that show goes as
Last
well.
two. No, it's not the last 2, is it? It's one in the middle and one at the end, isn't it?
Yeah, what a weird way. Because if you go back to that show without watching Boba Fett, you'd be like, eh?
There was a full episode was just about Mandalorian, wasn't it?
Yeah, just because of how that second season ends, something happens in Boba Fett which kind of messes around with that. So
yeah,
I think it took a while to get off the ground for me with Mandalorian, but by end of season 2, I was all in.
Yeah,
looking forward to that.
I think it's good.
I watched. I saw a TikTok of people at Disney World today, and someone walks past. He's dressed up as Din Djarin, and he's got a Grogu in a little pouch at the front. Someone was like, "Oh, look, it's Baby Yoda," and he stops, and goes, "He's not called Baby Yoda. His name is Grogu," and then just like kind of walks off in a huff. He's in character.
This is the way.
Yeah, they're all like in character, and they've got all like voice changes and everything that makes him sound exactly the same.
I've seen the Kylo Ren one. He's fucking frightening him.
Yeah, they look brilliant.
Yeah, they do look brilliant. Oh, bless them. Good
Speaking
job.
of things
Good gig
that
to have
isn't brilliant, everything's happening. The foreshadowing of RoboCop and Terminator 2 is finally happening. In San Francisco, the ruling board of supervisors have now voted to let the city's police use robots that can kill.
Oh, I thought you meant the singularity had happened. Finally, AI has took over.
The measure permits police to deploy robots equipped with explosive in extreme circumstances, and this includes... Where did I have it here? Robots could potentially be equipped with explosive charges to breach fortified structures containing violent, armed, or dangerous subjects. They can also be used to incapacitate or disorient violent, armed, or dangerous suspects who pose a risk of loss of life.
This is all you need in that country where they have the world's most dangerous police force. Drones with bombs attached to them.
But you know what's going to happen? One's going to get hit by lightning, and then number 5 is alive, and it's reading books in some random woman's house.
With a racist accent.
With a racist accent and being chased by a man in brownface. Fisher Stevens will have woken up and seen this news story and gone, my time is soon.
I am back. This is terrible. This is a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea. But before we get into politics, let's skip this story and go on to the next one.
No, that's it, mate. That's the end.
Oh, we'll end on that bombshell then. Pun intended.
Whee!
Let's move on to the Nexus. What we've been doing, guys. I want to know, Biggie, word on the grapevine is you've not done out this week.
It's very true. I've either been playing a bit of COD or watching a bit of The Sopranos, and that has pretty much been my week, unfortunately.
This is the best show ever
anything
made,
else.
So
of course.
it's worth watching if you're listening to this and you've still not seen Sopranos. Fucking hell.
Yeah, do yourself a favour and check that out, whatever you do.
Give your head a shake. Fucking
So
hell.
good.
I
So
watched a clip the other day, just a random clip, and I was just like,
And you wanted to watch it all again.
I really need to watch this again.
It's never been bested to this day. It's the best show ever made. It's just fucking flawless. But that was enough chatter to get it onto the pod art. Let's move on to Candy.
Yeah, I've had a bit of a quiet week as well, really. I've been cracking on with God of War, but what I did watch was possibly the most unironically cringy show that I have ever seen, and that's the second season of Mighty Ducks Game Changers. So,
Of course you watched that. Of course you watched that.
well, it's kind of a feel good, but anyway, I have to watch it as ice hockey. So we haven't got Emilio Estevez coming back as Coach Bombay this season. I think
Was he in it anyway?
He was in the first season, yeah.
What does he look like nowadays then?
Yeah, is he still alive?
Martin
Does he
Sheen.
do
He
anything?
looks like Martin Sheen.
Does he? He looks like his dad. All
Absolute spitting
right.
image.
He looks better than Charlie Sheen does, though.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
because Charlie Sheen was named after his drug of choice.
And he's not talking about
Yeah.
Mr. Sheen.
No.
So yeah, just oh my god, I get it. It's meant for kids. It really is. But once again, the Ducks have somehow got to the top of the competition with the power of friendship and a positive
adults
mental
yet?
attitude. No, they're still teenagers.
Teenagers, yeah.
no training whatsoever. They're meant to have gone to this like elite top of the top camp for all the top teams, and they're kind of thrown in with all the cup winners and everything. So of course, they end up winning. But yeah, no, absolutely no training whatsoever. There's also this like really terrible, and I don't even know if they were taking the piss, but they're sitting around the campfire and they're singing, and it's really, really badly lip synced. And oh my God, it was just the most awful thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. But despite that, I did actually enjoy it. It's just kind of brainless, feel good viewing.
Is it the same level as like Cobra Kai?
No, it's like I said, it's completely unironic. It doesn't realise the cringe. I don't think it does.
Oh.
I don't think it does.
Unless they've tricked you.
They might have done, but I don't think so. I think they're being really earnest in a kind of Disney Kids kind of a way.
No, maybe they've slap shot you right between your legs, mate, and you've been done in. You've been done in by the ducks. I prefer the cartoon, the Mighty Ducks cartoon, when they're actually anthropomorphic ducks.
I remember that was good.
That was a good show. Bring that back.
I would like to know what the listeners think, whether it is ironic or not. I don't think it is, you know.
Well, please write in with your Mighty Ducks feedback, everybody.
That's your homework.
We need it. Please do it for Candy. Also, send in your Tinder requests for Candy as well.
I mean, people seem to like it. It's got 87% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Bloody hell. Wow. Okay, let's move on. I'll go next. I watched, I'll really quickly talk about, I was at my mate's house when we were watching the BBC. All right, it's the BBC. I watched a show that was fucking terrible, and again, I want my time back. It's called I Can See Your Voice. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Is that where they're like walking down some stairs or something? They decide to date them based on their singing voice.
It's got Paddy McGuinness in it. You know, the Peter Kay
Of course it has.
hanger-on person from Top Gear. Amanda Holden, that was shagging Les Dennis. That's what she was famous for. And that funny woman, I like this woman.
Amanda Holden.
She pushed the man in water on This Morning that time. Remember her? Oh, what's her name? I forgot. Alison
Alison Hannigan. No, Hannigan. That's the fucking Buffy.
She pushed someone in water. She's brilliant. She's got a really infectious laugh and stuff.
I know who you mean. Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Alison Hammond.
Yes. Do you know on that fucking on This Morning when they're on that fucking map? She pushed a man in water by accident. Such a good clip. She's in it.
She also got pissed with Harrison Ford.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did. She's the only redeeming factor of the show. Basically, what it is it's one of them lip sync things again, where people come in and the lip sync stuff, and you've got to guess if they're actually good singers or not. It's shite. Don't watch it.
God.
Why are they putting money into this kind of thing? But again, it's that lowest common denominator shit that people like to watch on a Saturday evening. I just wanted to highlight how crap it is. Don't watch it. BBC, stop paying TV licenses, guys. Come on. The main thing I want to talk about is I got a game code and I'm doing a review. I got a game for the Nintendo Switch called The Night Witch. Ooh. The Night Witch is a Metroidvania adventure game with fast-paced shoot-'em-up combat set in a beautiful hand-drawn world. Cast devastating card-based spells, forge close bonds, and make moral choices, all in your quest to save your home and discover who's behind the War Golem invasion. I was asked to say that. That is not my words. So yes, The Night Witch, published by Team 17. It is available on everything: PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series, PS4, PS5, Switch, and it's just come out. Team 17 lately have been publishing a lot of these, just like throw it at the wall, see if it can stick kind of games.
Yeah.
Now this is a Metroidvania, but unlike other Metroidvanias, you are flying and you fire projectiles. You've got guns and stuff and magic. Do you know what? I really like it. That's the first thing I can say about it. But it's going to put a lot of people off because it's very, very hard.
I'm watching the trailer right now. What are the controls like? Because she's flying, it looks very floaty. Like, do you lack precision in it?
You can aim, but you can auto aim as well if you want to make it a little bit easier. But when you auto aim, it's whatever's closest to her she'll shoot.
Right.
But it's good. But I'm playing it on the wrong console. I'm playing it on Switch now. I have to use my Pro Controller to really feel the benefits of playing it well. It's pretty as anything, and the weird thing is, it does the Metroidvania, but it's got these like a bond system where everyone in the town, this underground town that you all escaped from, because the world ended at the beginning, basically. So you all live underground, and you've got like forged bonds with people, and it's kind of a bit like Persona in a weird way. You know, when you've got to talk to people, give them gifts and that kind of thing. And it's really good because all the characters are quite fleshed out, all the NPCs and stuff. So you get to know them. You go, oh God, Bert, you're such an idiot. You always do this kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? You get to know them as the adventure progresses. But yeah, it's hard. It's really hard. I beat it, but you know, when you beat something and you think, oh, I've only just beat that. I didn't. Fuck it. Oh, that was like when Elden Ring, for instance, when you beat the final boss, like, oh, we only just beat that.
Or
that kind of thing's like,
or getting anywhere near the Radiance in Hollow Knight.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
finishing
optional, isn't
veteran.
it? Yeah, those kind of things. It's like, I suppose you could put it down to this easiest settings, but I'm not that kind. I don't know what it is. I can't do that. I never have been able to, because I feel like I breeze through games that way. But it's accessible enough. If you've ever played, like, do you know the Metroidvanias that are like underwater and you're a submarine and stuff, like those type of games? Yeah. That's all it is, basically. It's one of them, but without water, you're just flying around. It does feel like she is in water as she's floating around. Really easy to control. But the aiming's just not precise on a Joy-Con at all.
It looks lovely, but this is definitely one I need to have a demo of before I buy it.
Yeah. I think there is a demo on actually on Nintendo eShop. But it's good. It's come out at a very strange time. You don't need to play this game. I'm not forcing you to play this game. It's like a proper solid 7 out of 10 for me. Yeah. I really like it. It's cheap as well. It's cheap. Obviously, I didn't pay for it, but it is really cheap. And I think, again, with Team 17, they're publishing loads of stuff at once. Sometimes you think to yourself, what? Just slow down. Slow the fuck down. I can't keep up because I do like them as developers and publishers. Because sometimes some absolute gold comes through. You know, like, is it Yoku's Island Express? Yeah. That's how you do it. But yeah, you still never been, Hollow Knight's still never been beaten on Switch for a Metroidvania. And I think this generation's best Metroidvania ever.
Well, there is a demo for it. There's a demo for it on Steam, so I'll give it a try. Yeah.
I reckon it'll be better with a mouse, actually. Genuinely. You get more precision and stuff. But yeah, give it a try. It's not expensive. Night Witch, it's got a really good story. So if you're not used to playing a Metroidvania with a really good story, this is definitely a shock. But yeah, that's my week. Review done. I did it. Stig, what you been up to?
I've done a bit of a biggie for once, for a while. But yeah, just been focused on God of War, really.
How far are you, mate? We are spoiling it.
I'm only about chapter 8.
Mm-hmm.
Watched Raiders of the Lost Ark after seeing the Indy 5 trailer with my daughter. She really loved it, so that was a bonus.
It's really good, isn't it, Raiders?
Yeah. I did see a film, so seeing as though most people haven't done anything, I'll quickly touch on this film, because it was really good.
Me and Biggie have worked this week, haven't we, mate? We've been working. Gadget, sorry.
I've done
it again.
You fucker!
Done it.
You little bastard! I'm going to come down there and snap you in half.
That's not in my head as well, because I have been working.
We mean creatively working.
One of them just needs to grow some hair, don't they, Oodles? That's it.
Yeah. At least there's one.
Easy as that.
It's so easy to grow hair. You just sit there and it happens.
Come back to me in 5 years and say that, Stig.
Yeah, that hairline's struggling. It's towing.
It's thinning. I watched a film called After Sun. It's a film directed by Charlotte Wells. It's a story of a girl called Sophie who reflects on a shared joy and private melancholy of a holiday she took with her father 20 years earlier. Memories, real and imagined, fill in the gaps between like a mini DV footage, and she tries to reconcile the father she knew with the man she didn't. And if I'm being honest, the film is fairly mundane in a way that it just follows this father and his teenage daughter. I think she's meant to be 13 in the film, and it just follows their holiday when they're together at this Turkish resort in the 90s.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens, but it's just really good.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where you're just following this story and this connection between this father and this.
You don't need
daughter.
high stakes.
No, and like I said, you get glimpses of them through the lens of the video recorder that she's like constantly recording on, and you get like memory, normal looking film, and it's kind of piecing all that together. And every now and again, it goes back to her kind of watching these videos and trying to remember this kind of estranged father figure. And then within all that, you get his struggles. He's still clearly not over the separation from her mother. Like every time he's on the phone to her, he always ends it with saying "love you" to her. So he's still really struggling with that. You see moments of him like really kind of not getting to grips with this breakdown in his relationship, and which has obviously caused a bit of a breakdown with his relationship with his daughter. But at times, their relationship always as well comes across really sweet and really nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of left me feeling a bit sad at the end.
But in like a way that touched you.
Yeah, especially like as having daughters. Like I think it's really like it just kind of makes you want to go give them a cuddle afterwards. Like it was just kind of it just kind of hit you when it ended, and I thought it was just really good and just really well acted. It stars Paul Mescal as the father. And yeah, it's if you kind of like those films where sometimes not a lot happens, but
I do.
It's a nice kind of human story, then it's definitely worth checking out. If you've got any kind of, if you ever had any issues with your father, if you're a woman, you've had any issues with your father, or vice versa, if you're a father with a daughter and there's any issues in there, that I would kind of maybe give it a little bit of a trigger warning on that front.
Yeah.
Just because it could.
What's it called again?
After Sun.
After Sun.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it. I like those type of films. I do. I like them nothing films.
Yeah.
Good cinematography, good actors.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you get with it. It's 102 minutes long, so it's not even that long. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Perfect. Excellent. Thank you, mate. Gadget.
Yes.
If that's even your name.
It is. Happy birth certificate updated and everything. So
it's a biggie.
Anyway, a couple of things this week. So I've been carrying on with God of War. I'm getting further in it. I think I'm about 3/4 of the way through now, so I should get it finished this week.
Finally.
I love the fact that we can be talking here and Noodles just wanders off.
Finally.
Rude. How dare you, sir? Give me your full attention.
I've got my AirPods in. I can hear everywhere, mate.
I know, but I can see you just wander off, and then I hear finally from the distance. Anyway,
wee.
Oh, and I think what for the world's quickest wee.
I don't know. Boys can wee really quickly.
I went to turn an alarm off actually.
Anyway, in a bout of poor timing, Pip and I went away this weekend, so I've only had a chance to play half an hour of the Callisto Protocol.
End of the year.
It makes a strong first impression, but I can tell you what, Dead Space it ain't. It's very much not Dead Space. If you look in front of the Dead
Basically,
Space...
every review I've read says it starts off good.
Do you know what? I'm actually quite happy I'd never played Dead Space, because that seems to be really holding everyone back on it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like...
in a silly way.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to play those games.
I get you.
Yeah,
the opening half an hour, 45 minutes that I've played of it so far has been fine. It's been good. The combat I'm a little weirded out by.
You move about, you flip about a bit.
Yeah, the problem is it's deliberately imprecise. Like the whole thing is it's melee combat, so like the monsters will like come up and swing for you and you've got to dodge out the way. But it's not like Souls or Elden Ring or anything where you like tap to the side and press B to jump to the side. You just have to hold a direction on the stick.
But, I don't like that.
But the direction doesn't need to relate to which direction you need to dodge.
Oh,
But when they come for the backswing, you then have to flip it to the other direction. So there's a couple of times I've been getting myself really fucking turned around with which direction I should be going.
that's how you get joystick drift as well from playing games like that.
It
has, worryingly though, it has reviewed lower than Dead Space 3.
The one thing it's taken from Dead Space, which I don't like, is it's got his health on the back of his neck. Yeah, it's so hard to read. It's not the same as having the big lights on the back of Isaac Clarke.
Plus, he's moving about a lot.
Yeah, but they've taken the same mechanic. Because I'm colorblind, I can't see when it goes from green to yellow.
Oh, no.
Because it's so small on the back of his neck, you can't see it. I can't see it anyway.
What console you got it on?
PS5.
So just look at the controller. Is that any different colour?
I will report back on that.
But then again, you probably have difficulties with that changing as well.
Well, no, because that would be more stark, because it's not against skin colour.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean,
it's definitely had some mixed reviews there, hasn't it?
Oh,
some
mixed.
Definitions mixed reviews.
Have said it's really good, recommended, 9, 8 out of 10, and then you've got some...
The big sites have trashed it. The smaller sites have said...
I mean, Eurogamer gave it a recommended.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
It is beautiful, though. So the graphics are some of the best I've seen.
I don't think anyone's knocked its graphics ever.
In fact, there's been a couple of shots in it, especially kind of facial animation shots, that have kind of put God of War to shame.
Oh.
They got
very detailed.
Josh Duhamel's forehead perfect as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
How about the death scenes?
I've only had a couple, so the very first one I got was
too good.
Was in a tutorial fight, because again I'm getting used to this kind of dodging mechanic, and it was brutal. Because this monster kind of beats your head off something, and then he grabs Josh the bottom of his jaw,
rips his jaw up,
and then the top of his jaw, and like pulls his head apart.
Yeah,
I've
seen that one.
I'm just sat there going, "Well, that happened." So
in a tutorial,
is it right what they say about the switching of weapons is really slow?
I don't know, because I've only got one weapon so far. But
they say like it's really slow, and if you get touched while you're switching, it cancels the switch.
I will say the healing animation takes approximately a fortnight.
Oh god, that's not good in middle of a battle.
Well, it's designed so that it's like risk or reward. Do you take the time to do it? Because you're vulnerable when you do it as well. Because you get down on one knee and he injects the thing into his neck.
I suppose it's realistic.
Yeah. Anyway, but I'll talk about that in further detail once I've played more of the game. Like I say, I've only played the opening section of it. But what I do need to talk about is a game called IXION, which I got a code for. This is by... Who made this one? I had it right on my screen before. This is by Bulwark Studios, who last game they made was Warhammer 40k Mechanicus. This is a science fiction city builder, where you take the role of the administrator on the Tikkun? Something like that, space station. Which is a colony ship. You are leaving Earth because Earth has abused all of its resources, and you're going to look for a new home amongst the stars. And the Tikkun is it's a kind of cylindrical ship with 6 sections to it, and you build those sections out. Build up the circle, build it up. You've got to manage colonists. You've got to manage manufacturing. You've got to keep the thing going in space, because space is a dangerous place. You have to like constantly be like battling between building new stuff on the outside of the ship versus repairing the hull from like fragments of space dust. You have to keep people happy. It's got the same mechanic that Frostpunk had, where people will come to you if they're pissed off with you, and they can, be very unhappy with you, and things can happen.
You have to have some tough choices.
Some tough choices. So far, I haven't had an instance where I've had to put the children to work. That has not been a thing yet. That was a thing in Frostpunk.
Yeah, I remember that in Frostpunk.
That was a thing in Frostpunk. That was. I
was like, yeah, get them earning.
Yeah, get them down the mines. It worked in Yorkshire.
Yeah, exactly. The gravy mines.
There are other things. So you're investigating planets. You are looking for survivors. You are dealing with other kind of factions. They're very corporatized factions as well. There's a big kind of fucking Weyland-Yutani thing going on here with the company you work for is called Dolos AEC, and they are very, very Weyland-Yutani. Haven't encountered anything like involving aliens yet. That might be a thing. I don't know. I couldn't say. I don't want to say it's not going to happen in case it does.
You might have a tough choice to make. Do you sacrifice a colony to grab a weapon of mass destruction or not?
True. What I'll say is that because I've played a lot of city builder games over the years, it is not the greatest one I've ever played, but it is a very good one.
Yeah.
It is on the same tier as Frostpunk. It's not as narratively stark as Frostpunk is. It's not going to have you making awful choices all the time. It's more about general management things, and it's not as detailed as, say, something like City Skylines, where you have to get to the far end of a fart of how your city works on that.
City Skylines so good.
Oh, it's very good, but very complicated.
Yes.
I've also been playing this on the Steam Deck, because that's where I play most of my
Runs
PC
good?
games. Runs good to a point. When you have when your administration gets to a certain size, it kind of starts to chug a bit because it's thinking about a lot of stuff. Got to knock those graphics down and limit the frame rate to 30 frames a second to keep it going. And you will cane through your battery playing it, but it works. And it's a very addictive game. It's definitely got just one more turn kind of aspect to it. Even though it's not turn based, but it's just got I'll just do a little bit more. Oh, I'll get that building built. Oh, I'll get this resource going. That kind of thing. The first night I was playing it, like I'd been playing kind of over the evening. It was about midnight when Pip went to bed. Says, "Oh, I'll just do another couple of things," and then I looked at the clock and it was 3 a.m. So it's good. It's really good.
They get you those games.
Oh, it's you can't play Oodles. Absolutely, it's a dopamine factory. This game.
I love them. I love them type of games.
It's good. I like the aesthetic. I like the ambient soundtrack to it. There is a bit of a story in there. It's fine, but you don't play these games for the story.
No.
It's an addictive little dopamine creator, and I think you should all check it out. Especially anyone who likes a good city builder will enjoy this.
I like city builders on my phone though, and you're against that. So I wish it'd come out on phone.
I don't think this would run on a phone. It's very detailed. Like I say, it really pushes the Steam Deck. Like
my phone's more powerful than a Steam Deck.
Rude.
It is though.
Yeah, but your phone's made by Samsung. The battery will catch fire any day now.
Oh, it does it every time. My hands are like Freddy Krueger's, mate.
How is the battery for the Steam Deck holding up with most games these days? Do you get a good playtime out of it?
It's fine. I mean,
it's usually different per game, though, isn't it?
I mean,
like the Switch.
Of course.
If I'm playing a AAA game on the Steam Deck, I can get maybe 3 hours out of it, depending what it is. If I'm playing Hollow Knight, I can probably go for about 5.
Perfect.
The difference is it's less the battery life, it's more the heat output because it gets very hot on the back where the vents are. And one side of the vents, you'll know this, Stig, is like right next to the fingers on your right hand. Mm-hmm. So there's been a couple of times I've been playing something particularly intensive. I was like, why are my fingertips hot? Oh, shit.
Ow, ow.
Ow, ow. But yeah, battery life is fine in it. Plus, I mean, I don't leave it. I very rarely leave the house with it. So, most of the time I'm right next to the charger anyway. It's just handy for playing on the sofa.
Yeah,
that's it, innit?
But I really rate IXION. I think people who like city builders will have a really good time. It's got a very deep tech tree. It'll keep you busy for a long time.
You've sold me on it. I'm gonna give it a go.
I mean, it's only on Steam though. You're gonna have to install it on your laptop, Oodles.
Oh,
you have to play with a mouse.
I don't want to stand up or sit up and play a game like I'm at work.
Mouse and keyboard controls only, unfortunately. It's not got controller support.
Never mind.
If you do end up playing it on Steam Deck, use my patent for it. I've published one.
I will do, sir. Excellent. What a week we've had. Absolute spellbinding stuff from everyone. Let's move on to the main topic. Yeah, let's move on to the main topic. Now, this was a pick from Stig's little bowl. Who was it that picked it again? I can't remember.
Lee Davies. And it's a good one. I really enjoy this topic. Basically, he wanted us to assemble a fighting team from media.
The fighting game, wasn't it? Not a fighting team.
Fighting game, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Fighting game, yeah. I just writ team and I read the autoprompter. So someone must have changed it.
You're Ron Burgundy?
I'm Ron Burgundy. Yes, so I'll start because I like mine. So I would
hope you like yours.
I do. I really do. I had a few. So I did have a few ideas for this, and I didn't want to bring something obvious like me. So instead, I brought something obscure but quite interesting. Now, for our American listeners, this will be nothing to you. Picture the scene. The Capcom logo flashes on screen. A sweeping desert shot swoops in. Smash cut to a city skyline. Over to a jungle scenario. And finally a mountaintop. Then a big sign says, "Not in this game." Then the music swells into, "Doof, doof, doof, doof. Stick a pony in me pockets. I'll fetch a suitcase from the van." That theme tune comes in. That's right. I'm launching the Only Fools and Horses fighting game called Only Fools Melee. So get ready. The roster. Del Boy Trotter with his special move of a briefcase and Reliant Regal supervan fatality. Think of it. Could be good. Rodney Trotter with his spliff and moaning, basically.
His fatality is he moans you to death.
Yeah, because God, Rodney don't half moan. Grandad with his double TV smash, because I always thought it weird that Grandad had two TVs and he watched them both at the same time. Uncle Albert makes his appearance with his "during the woe" speech that makes the opponent's head explode. Sounds a bit like Biggie, doesn't he, Uncle Albert?
Oh, wow.
Trigger has his broom, obviously, and he can attach different things to his broom. It's the same broom he's had all his life. Mickey Pierce is there in his hat with his boomerang. Mickey Pierce is a bit of a wide boy, isn't he? He's a bit of a geezer. Marlene and Boyce are a dual character that juggle each other around and throw money at folk. So they're like a dual character. You've seen them on some fighting games, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. But does he use his laugh to his advantage as well?
Yeah. Marlene does that.
Marlene.
And Denzel has his truck and takes the opponents to Hull and back as his fatality. You remember that?
I mean, that would be a fatality for most people.
Yeah, who wants to go to Hull? Many other lesser characters are involved, and the stages consist of the top of Nelson Mandela House, and the player can be knocked down onto the car park. Do you know, like on Dead or Alive? It's a 3D fighter, by the way.
Are you going to have a big Trotters Independent Traders logo at the top of it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. We've also got inside and outside the Nag's Head. You can punch them out the window at the Nag's Head into the car park. You've got the market, the courthouse, Boyce's house, and the special stage Margate when they go on the Jolly Boys outing. So that will be good. Again, published by Capcom and developed by Arc System Works of Blaze Blue fame. So, the guys that make the anime fighting game Blaze Blue are going to make Only Fools and Horses. The DLC, we've got a year's worth of stuff coming across, like Super Smash Brothers. This DLC will consist of a Faulty Towers pack, the Young Ones, Open All Hours, and Blackadder characters. And it's already been reviewed with a Metacritic score of 99. It takes the world by storm. It takes the world by storm and becomes the #1 game at EVO competitions and #1 streamed game on Twitch 4 years in a row. It's an absolute success. Only Fools Melee.
I'm so glad I didn't go with this because it was one of the ideas I was looking at. Old British sitcoms.
What do you think about releasing a fight stick in the shape of the Robin Reliant?
Regal. So Robin Regal, actually.
Sorry. You know
Come on! Fucking hell. Yeah, all that's coming. Again, we've got a few years plans. We could branch out.
Or you could have DLC of unlockable costumes with the Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I'm just about to say, yeah, of course, we can do all that. There is a single player mode to it, like Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Where it's about how the Trotters become millionaires and they lose the million.
Who's the bad guy? Who's the main bad guy?
Slater, the policeman.
I would have thought it'd be the taxman.
HMRC. But yeah, I think it's going to be it's going to be huge, and I hope you enjoy what I brought to the table. I'm after for 30% equity on this game.
Different show, that one.
Yeah, we're not doing Dragon's Den.
I'm always trying to flog stuff.
Because you're Yorkshire's answer to Del Boy.
I am absolutely. I just didn't want to do something obvious like I'm going to do the Terminator fighting game. I hope none of you have done that now. I'm so sorry if you have. But yes, we shall move on to Candy's Bethesda game that she's going to do.
No, not Bethesda game. So mine is a Mortal Kombat style game, and it's called Kenkagako Old Man Dojo. And this is a fighting game that involves all the best characters that Gary Oldman has played. So we've got Sirius Black, Commissioner Gordon, Count Dracula, Drexel Spivey, Sid Vicious, Winston Churchill, Mason Verger, and an unlockable character is Tiptoes.
Yeah. If you didn't put Tiptoes in there, I would have been.
It's a role of a lifetime. And he's gonna be like, if you play as Tiptoes, it's like playing as Gon in Tekken 3, where you can't hit him.
Literally, yeah, he's going to be like the Tasmanian Devil, just absolutely all over the show. So, starting with Sirius Black, you can play as a human with magical abilities, or you can transform into his dog, obviously. But he's only got biting power then instead.
Spoiler alert.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. Finishing move is ripping out the opponent's jugular, eating their face, then shitting in the gaping chasm that remains.
Okay.
So it's a kid's game then, yeah?
No, this is for Mortal Kombat. Commissioner Gordon, he has a high defense due to a concealed bulletproof vest. He can use a pistol, but he has a bit of a disadvantage on ranged attacks due to being short-sighted. He needs glasses. His finishing move is throwing the pen from his notepad, the police officer's notepad, sort of ninja star style onto the opponent's throat, smashing their head into the back.
You know he's not a police officer, don't you?
He was at one point.
He's a commissioner.
He keeps the notepad for old time's sake. It's a lucky charm. He throws it into their throat, smashes their head into the back signal, and then it will turn the back signal on, and it will just like burn their eyes straight out.
So Batman doesn't appear at all?
No.
It's a rights issue.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a rights issue, yeah.
Yeah. We'll see if we can work with Warner Brothers on that one maybe in the future. Count Dracula, so he has massive health regeneration abilities when attacking, but starts to grow old and weak if he doesn't land any hits. So under 25% HP, he can transform into a bat to try and regain some health. But he only has one bite attack, so he's hard to hit, but he can hit very gently.
Is he not that horrible bat he turns into in Bram Stoker's Dracula, where it hangs from the ceiling? Like,
he's
not that thing.
No, he's more of a little
just a
flitting bat, yeah. So his finisher is to sort of desanguinate the opponent, freeze the blood into spikes, and throw the spikes into the enemy like a stake. I think I might have stolen that one. I think that's an actual Mortal Kombat move.
I think that is a Mortal Kombat move.
Yep.
Or was it in the film?
It's Scarlet's move.
Yeah. So
Sub-Zero's done many things like that as well.
Yeah.
So that's a classic fighting move. So Drexel from True Romance, he's got barely any...
Is he good?
Yeah, he annoys everyone like that. So he's got barely any defense because he's only dressed in a sort of open kimono and slippers. But he's extremely fast and he can use a machine gun. And his finishing move is to throw chopsticks and scalding hot sweet and sour sauce into the opponent's face because he's always there eating his Chinese, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then smashing them over the head repeatedly with the swinging lampshade.
You'd expect him to do moves like capoeira as well.
We can throw that in. That's fine.
Yeah.
Sid Vicious, he's weak in attack, but he takes barely any damage due to being numb to the pain on heroin. He can use his base as a weapon, so he can use his the strings and everything to strangle people. He can just bludgeon people. He can just startle people with his terrible playing. And then his finishing move, obviously, he's gonna whip out some syringes, stick them into the neck of the opponent.
Killed me then.
Sorry about that, Oodles.
With his terrible playing, I was like, God, he's such a shit musician. I was.
Oh, it was bad. So yeah, the heroin needles get in the neck, then get his stabber out and stab him to death. Winston Churchill, slow but extremely tough. He can use his bowler hat as a ranged attack like Odd Job. His finishing move is it's a Molotov cocktail made of his whiskey, and he lights it with a cigar. And then once his opponent has burnt to a child corpse, he plants a Union Jack on a spike into his chest.
Does he say, for Britain?
Yes.
Britain.
That one. Then Mason Berger, we've got... he's slow, obviously, due to being in a wheelchair, but you can only attack him with low attacks. So that's the only thing that will hit him. And the wheelchair is weaponized. He can take poppers and he'll become immune to pain. So his HP
cuts his face off.
Yeah, his HP damage is halved. And his finishing move, obviously, is feeding his opponents to the pigs.
Yeah.
And then the stages, obviously, Azkaban. We've got Arkham Asylum, Dracula.
You forgot Fifth Element.
Yeah, Zorg.
I didn't want to put him in. He's
Zorg.
shit.
Fuck you.
What?
Oh,
I know.
Give over.
He can be in the DLC.
He's got that
And I don't know that much
could use
about
that
him.
big gun.
Yeah, use that big gun and it can leak like it leaks in that film.
I don't want leaky characters.
You've got Dracula in it.
He's not leaky.
Basically leaks for a living.
He leaks other people. He leaks other people.
You're fucking
It's a
Tiptoes
leaky
in it.
bastard. Yeah, Tiptoes is in it.
We've got a
He's
strip.
probably got a real name, Tiptoes.
I know he does,
can't
but I
remember
prefer
it.
just Tiptoes. I'm sure he does have a character name.
Tiptoes.
He's Tiptoes, though. Strip Club, we've got the 100 Club for the Sex Pistols, one for Sid Vicious, Houses of Parliament, obviously, and the Pig Ranch for Mason Verger. So I think
I'm
that's a
kind of
winner.
into it.
Yeah, I reckon it's a
What's
winner.
it called again?
Ken Kagako Old Man Dojo. Which
That's so accurate. That's so accurate.
best name ever.
which in like
That is
ham
so
Japanese is Fight School Old Man Dojo.
Yep. Fucking hell. I'm in.
Thanks.
Can't wait for the DLC with Zorg, the actual main character of Gary Oldman's back catalogue. What about Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and stuff like this? There's so many more.
There's loads that you can add. As I said, DLC in future. There's almost, it never ends. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, slow horses. What else we got?
So many.
The Scarlet Letter.
Yeah. Okay, now. What a guy. What a game. Biggie. Is it
Okay.
Lethal Weapon, the fighting game?
Are you ready for this?
Space Jam, the fighting game.
Again, the Capcom theme tune, which Oodles perfectly did, so I'm not going to replicate that, pops up on the screen. And then the Modern Escapism theme tune comes into play.
What?
That's right. Modern Escapism, Podemonium Edition, in the style of Capcom's X-Men Street Fighter Ultimate Marvel Capcom style of fighting game. Music by Ross Tregenza.
Oh.
Not either
That's
of the
right,
two
Modern
musicians
Escape-
on the fucking podcast.
Nope.
Modern Escapism Network has become
We
the
can't
biggest
win, can we,
podcasting
Gadget? We can't win.
brand in the world. But the role of CEO is a viciously fought for title. There can only be one king of the podcastle. So,
CEO's not
Biggie,
in question.
There it is. Big E. Yes, you can play as me. My special moves include Big E's Bundle, which is like a screw pile driver like Zangief.
Of course, you're
You got the
Zangief.
maneuver, the Big E, which turns me into like a gold statue, armor like Colossus. If you build up your moves and start getting your power bars up, I can do a sexy Akuma style death where I become just so incredibly sexy that all of a sudden as I attack, you get a blue screen of death and your character is knocked out. My finishing move is me turning into Karen Cloud with a Buster Sword and slice everyone to death.
I'd have made that a separate character.
If you play through
DLC skin.
the main, if you play through the main game, you can then unlock your characters from Scorched Sheep. So obviously you can unlock as Cowboy and then play as them.
What the fuck do I get then?
Why would
Just a
anyone,
voice in the background.
anyone who's listened to Scott Sheep want to play as Calbo? You just instantly die.
His
It's a
hitboxes are
difficult
broken.
character to master. It's a difficult character to master.
I know you've been playing it for 18 months, you still haven't managed it.
It'd be like comparable to like
Josh.
Mokujin.
Actually, my
Tekken.
combat's been pretty good of late. Thanks very much. Anyway,
Spoiler alert.
my main backdrop will be a milk depot. Then you have
Age to the
Oodles.
point of milk.
Oh yeah.
The special moves. There it is. The special moves will include for Oodles a 100 Sambas slap, which is him basically throwing a shoe at the character.
Nice.
A spinning hair flick, where he jumps upside down and spins on his hair.
Because I've got hair.
He will then use as a weapon a Sting portrait smash. And then for a finale, he can use an Akuma style again maneuver, but this time he does a Dragon's Quest XI Puff Puff finale.
Oh, so I'm sucking him off. Typecast me, I'm telling you.
We don't see that.
No, I feel
you have a drunken
in my
master
mouth.
style fighting style.
Mhm.
And then you
Yeah.
can also, when you build up your power bar, turn into a gunpla mech.
Now I'm in.
Naturally, you will unlock a treble character as well if you play through the main game.
Very
And your
powerful
backdrop will be a
character.
deep dive lounge bar with previous guests sitting there in the background who aren't us. So you'll have Planty and that F King guy there and so on.
Yep.
Candy,
What do be next?
she will have a panda berserker attack where she launches her cat that goes full on, but occasionally it will actually turn on her itself.
That's a risk reward.
Yep. You'll have a candy machine which will actually chuck out her favourite choice of sweets, which will include quality sweet. She will be using pizza crusts as projectiles.
Oh, it's the fucking pizza crust.
And
Well, you shouldn't have said it.
That's the
Third time tonight it's come up.
Shouldn't have said it.
her special finishing move will turn she'll grab a massive magnum of Prosecco and smash them over the head with it.
Yes, I like that. They're heavy glasses as well, those Prosecco
You'd
bottles.
kill somebody with them. You'd
Yeah.
kill someone with one.
Oh, absolutely.
Weighty bottom.
Your unlock will naturally be Capri and Proserpine as like a joint character.
What's the cat called?
Your backdrop, Proserpine.
Oh, you said it wrong originally.
did I?
I heard it.
You said Proserpine.
Oh, okay.
Close enough.
Anyway, thank you. Backdrop will be a tattoo parlor with Acid Pearl doing a tattoo in the background.
Nice.
Jupiter Storm waving at you for attention, and Super Natty Cat will be engrossed in your fight, copying your moves in the background.
Perfect.
Gadget will naturally be using dice rolls for random attacks and modifiers throughout the fight.
Fair enough.
He'll also have a keyboard slap maneuver and a guitar smash, but every time he smashes a guitar, he has a little cry.
Well, yeah.
His power-up maneuver will be a Bioshock Big Daddy Morph.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And your main weapon of choice will naturally be a microphone on a stand.
Yes.
And your backdrop will have randomised D&D map.
Ooh.
I like the idea
As
of
for
that.
Stig... Huh?
I like the idea of a randomised D&D map. That's cool.
What would my unlock skin be, though? Because I don't play a character in Scorched Sheep. I play all of the characters.
Or a
The
pan.
Dungeon Master.
Yeah, so you can be anybody. You can unlock all the characters from Scorched Sheep, but that's a special pack for DLCs.
No, your DLC
Stig-
skin would be bigger.
Fuck off.
Finally, of course, we have Stiggy, and there's an actual secret code that you can put in the game to unlock the Walker McCoy alternative skin.
Yeah.
He will
Wow,
naturally
he's
have a
that's
wrestler's
completely
move list.
different person.
He looks a bit like you,
course.
though.
Yeah, he
Only
looks a bit
bit.
like me, but it's
Yeah.
It's from the same neck of woods.
Uh,
isn't it?
You'll have all your favourite wrestler moves as your main moves list. Your
go on.
finishing finale maneuver will be that you'll turn into Totoro and do a massive butt slam on your opponent.
He didn't dare name any wrestling moves there, did he? I thought
No,
he was
I
going to go
didn't.
for him.
Swanton bomb.
Oh, there's so many. I mean, you can list all of them, but yeah,
Name
what's
one.
the point? You choose. Huh?
Name one. Just name one. Wrestling move.
Power driver.
Easiest one.
People's elbow.
There you go. It's one though, isn't it? You'll have a cookies as projectiles,
Yeah.
which can actually randomly stun the characters. They're enjoying them so much. Your main weapon will be a Cliff Richard calendar,
It's in the
and
bin.
your
Does
backdrop will
he
be a
toss it behind
house.
him as a move?
It'll do 1,000 cuts with the calendars. Your main backdrop would be Howl's Moving Castle or Spirited Away as a main backdrop, so it could be one or the other. The DLC character packs will include guests on the show, which could be Deadbeat Punk, DJ Walsh, Helen O'Hara, the Scorched Sheep characters as mentioned, and the sequelizers will appear in the second game. And that was it. That's as far as I got with my game.
I like it. Capcom are going to be busy, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
Gonna make a lot of money though.
Yeah, that might be better than the Only Fools and Horses Melee. Might be only because I'm in it and I'm the main star. Stig.
Okay, so
Stig's took this seriously. He's probably got moves lists.
I do have a move list.
Yeah, of course.
That was the brief. Give
No,
us
I
a
mean
couple of moves
I
lists.
meant with like button configurations. that
Oh
you can
god, no,
post
no, no, no!
out.
Just confused. No, so my
Quarter
fighting
circle
game.
AB.
My fighting game is going to be made by NetherRealm Studios. It's going to be the same style of Injustice, Mortal Kombat games, 2D beat 'em up with stages that have interactive weapons and scenery behind you. Each character is going to get their own special move that will be presented in that, this Injustice style big cinematic move.
Just press the back two buttons and it
where
happens.
everyone should be dead from them, but it doesn't. It just knocks a bit of health off, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be 8 playable characters in this to start with, and they're all going to be based on characters played by a friend of the pod, Vin Diesel.
Yes, into it already.
It's called the Dieselverse Family Feud.
Nice. Bang into it.
So we're going to go through the characters that no one cares about or has ever heard about first. We have Bloodshot. He stages a wreck street with blown-up cars, debris that you can interact with and smash opponents into. His moves are camouflage, who can turn invisible, DNA manipulation, so he's actually able to duplicate himself, so that you get a Noob Saibot style attack out of that.
I love
and
Noob.
Sonic Scream, which paralyzes the opponents for a few seconds. And his
That
special
film was
move,
so bad.
his special move is because he's got superhuman strength, speed, reflexes, agility. He just knocks the absolute fuck out of you. There's nothing fun about this one. He just literally goes to town on you and beats the fuck out of you. And his winning catchphrase is, "No mission too difficult, no sacrifice too great." I just found a random quote. Some of these are characters I've never seen.
Bloodshot's such a bad film.
It looks terrible. I was looking up some scenes of it, and I was like, "This looks awful."
It's got one of them twists where as soon as you watch it, you go, they're going to be baddie. Oh, they are the baddie. It's got one of them.
Next up, we've got Calder from The Last Witch Hunter. His background
as well.
The background to that is a flaming witch tree. It's like a tree with a witch on it, and it's all on fire, burning in the background. So you can slam opponents into that and whack them with burning branches and stuff. He's got throwing axes, self-explanatory. He's got the Sky Storm where he performs a disenchantment and it brings a storm from the sky, and he's got regeneration, so you can actually regen his health every now and again. And he has the Super Hex Blade as his special move, which is a big fuck off flaming sword, which he uses to kill witches, and he just goes to town and there's flames everywhere. It's all pyro and shit going off with the flame. And his winning catchphrase will be, "Every day I wake up, the world sleeps a little easier."
Ugh.
These are lines from the film, by the way.
I know, man. That's the problem.
Then I started scraping the barrel for Vin Diesel characters. So some of them were too real and boring. So this one is Santiago from Ark, the game Ark.
Oh, God.
That's a thing.
Yep, because Vin Diesel's an executive producer on it, so he's put himself in the game. Yeah. Background would be dinosaur jungle, mountains in the background. You can grab rocks at the front, smash them into them. You can throw them to dinos in the background. You give them a good mauling. I couldn't find anything interesting on this guy apart from he has a spear, an axe, and he just uses them, and a hardened armor, so you can create an armor which will stand hardened skin attack from time, for a set time. But he does ride a big fuck off T-Rex. So the T-Rex is going to be a special move. T-Rex comes out, it jumps on your opponent, stomps them around, it grabs them, it ragdolls them, it chomps them down, it spits them back up. Big fuck off roar from the T-Rex. So you do get a nice little special move from that.
Doesn't the Flash do something similar in Injustice where he transports you back in time to T-Rex period?
Yeah. And you get fucked
Cretaceous period or something like that. I don't know.
You get fucked up by a T-Rex.
Yeah, I remember that.
So this is going to be the same, but he's going to be riding the T-Rex in all of his Vin Diesel glory. Now we get into characters that people actually know. Iron Giant. So the stage is the scrapyard. There's scrap everywhere you can interact with. The Iron Giant's obviously really tall, so I'm going to have to scale him down a little bit to fit on the screen. But he's still going to be the tallest character. So you've got big stomp, you've got an arm cannon, so you can just shoot the opponent with a big arm cannon, and a spin and slam. So if you've seen the Iron Giant, he can actually turn his body without moving his feet. So he just grab you, spin around, and fucking launch you. And then his special move is he just turns into the War Machine when he goes berserk and just unleashes all of his weapons on you. Ended it with a big chest nuke blast.
That reminds me of Biggie. You'll remember the Sentinels on Marvel vs. Capcom. They were always massive on the screen.
Yeah.
So he'll be big. He'll be from top to bottom, pretty much.
Up to his
Yeah,
elf.
it does work.
Yeah, his winning catchphrase is "I am Superman" because he doesn't say a lot in that film.
He doesn't.
And next we're on to Groot. So the stage.
What's his catchphrase?
I wonder what that'll be. The stage will be the city of Xandar. In the back, you'll have the Milano. You'll have the rest of the Guardians cheering on. There'll be Nova Corps people in the background. You can grab them and swing them into your opponent, and there'll be an Infinity Stone there. You can smash and grab into someone and smash into them. You've got stuff like Root Smash, where he drives his hands into the ground, and the roots come up and smash them. Spores, where Groot shoots spores as projectiles. And an arm spike, like in the first Guardians film, where he just impales someone, slams them around a bit.
I love that bit.
Yeah, especially the little grin he gives after.
Yeah, I love Groot. I like Groot a lot, mate.
And you'll have so Groot's obviously special move is he'll swing the opponent really fast, throw him into the air, and that's when the Guardians come in. So the ship will fire on you, and then you'll get a blast from everyone. Your Quill will shoot you. You get Gamora slicing you with a blade. Drax hits you with a big punch. Rocket blasts you with a rocket launcher, and then Groot finishes you off by he turns into the big ball. He'll do a big ball around you, and he'll squeeze you and slam you into the ground.
Ooh.
And guess what his winning catchphrase is?
We are Groot.
No, close. It's I am Groot.
Fuck, I was close.
Nearly had it.
Yeah, Groot
Tough
will
that.
Groot will have DLC, so you can. So this one will be based on the tall, lanky version. So you will be able to buy baby, adolescent, and hench Groot with future DLC, all with their own moves and stages.
Or with their own
Nice.
catchphrase.
Yeah, now we're getting into the fun Vin Diesel characters. Xander Cage, extreme winter sports venue. Loads of skis, snowboards, quad bikes interacting with, you can smash your opponent with. Xander uses a variety of projectiles. So because he's a master of all guns, if you've seen that film, all guns, he'll basically you'll do the gun combination, and he'll just pull out whatever. There could be a shotgun, could be a machine gun, could be the pistol, could be an Uzi. It's just a multiple choice. It's
He's
a
a
random
master of all guns.
master of all guns. It's just random. Then you've got the
Awesome.
bandage bomb. If anyone remembers that from the film, where it's a bandage that you can stick on people and it blows up. So he'll roll past people, stick it on, and they'll stand up and click the detonator and say something cool. I'm not sure what, because he's not very cool. They've got the parachute snowboard. So he pulls a cord and a parachute shoots out, and then he flies into you with a snowboard. Because, combining snowboarding and parachuting. That's so Xander Cage.
Yep.
And then his special move will be a winter sports event where you take on Xander. Xander takes you on through a series of extreme sports like base jumping, snowboarding, and motocrossing. But each time the opponent is so shit, they just bounce off everything and get hurt. While Xander throws projectiles and guns at you. And his winning catchphrase is, "You've just entered the Xander zone."
Nice.
Oh.
You missed a trick though. You could have had the backdrop. His stage as a Rammstein concert.
That's only a very small part of the film, though.
Burn.
When I actually reminds me when I went to WrestleMania, we got back on the coach to take us back to the hotel, and the bus driver was watching that, and it just happened to be at that point. And I was really pissed just watching this. I was like, "Fucking hell!"
He was like, "Look at this film. It's the best film I've ever seen."
I was like, "I know this film.
Never
What?"
better.
I was like, "What the fuck is this film? Rammstein in it?"
And he has really sex that's not very convincing.
Oh yeah, sex with everyone. He's a.
It's not very
womanizer.
convincing though, is it?
I don't know. Did you ever watch the follow up? Not
Yes,
the
Diesel
watched
isn't
them all.
convincing.
not
The Ice Cube one.
Not the Ice Cube one. The one where they brought Xander Cage
The
back.
Return of Xander Cage.
Yeah,
Yes.
I never watched it. I bet it's terrible.
Oh, he's fucking shite.
All these films are shit.
He has sex with 4 people in that at the same time.
Oh, of course he does. Of course he does. I bet it's like Vin Diesel looks through his contracts and he's just like, "No, this says I only have sex with 3 people. I need
I need another.
It needs to be 4 minimum."
That's his rider. 4 women.
we got 2 more characters left. We got Riddick. So it'll be set in the prison. His backdrop will be the prison from Chronicles, where they'll have prisoners cheering on. There'll be cages and chains that you can use as weapons. His moves will be the teacup, where you smash a metal teacup into your opponent's chest.
That is cool though in the film.
Yep. A flurry of Ulak blades, so just go to town on you with the Ulak blades, and then a blast from the Scar gun, so you shoot 5 rounds at you and blood and detonate them. The special move, actually, I quite like this one. I think it'd be cool. The screen goes pitch black because Riddick can see in the dark. He takes off his goggles, and you see the opponent from Riddick's eyes in a black and white starlight night vision. And then Riddick uses a number of different blades, like
that's going to fuck the frame rate up on that game.
The Necro, Saberclaw, the Ulax, the in-gun knife, and then he shoots them with a gravity gun. And then while they're in the air, he shoots them with some Baron rounds and detonates them. And his winning catchphrase is, "Now the monsters have something to fear."
Oh, you're in here with me.
On to the main event. The big guy, Dom Toretto.
The king.
His stage is the streets of Brazil.
Yeah.
In the background, you see all the Fast and Furious crew cheering him on. You'll have there'll be a load of barbecues and boxes of Corona that you can pick up and smash over people.
Yes.
Because Dom is just a normal guy. He's just a brawler, so his moves will just be a tackle. So he'll just tackle you to the ground and beat you with his fists. He's always got He's always got a wrench on him, so he'll pull a wrench out and he'll swing and hit you with the wrench that he keeps in his back pocket. And the Corona, where he shakes up a bottle of Corona and sprays it in your face before whacking you over the head with it.
Ooh, toxic damage.
Yep. His special move will be a street drag race where Dom pulls ahead, hits the NOS, and at the same time he throws a can of NOS out at the opponent, whose cars explode. The opponent flies out the car. When they get up, Dom and his Fast and Furious buddies fly past. They each take it in turn to drive into the opponent. The last one is Roman, who shouts, "Ejectocito, cuz!" And a car seat strapped with bottles of Corona fly out of the car and smash into the fighter. And obviously his winning catchphrase is, "I live my life a quarter mile at a time."
You know, I'd say you're over-egging the pudding here, but no more than the films do.
I literally took everything from the film there, like other than the throwing the NOS out. And then
true to life.
There will be a Mortal Kombat style, when you go up the
tower,
thing,
yeah.
The tower, yeah. And the bad guy will just be Vin Diesel himself.
Vin Diesel at a press junket hitting on reporters.
You have to beat Vin Diesel.
Nice. What's it called again?
The Dieselverse Family Feud.
Follow that, Gadget.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think I can have that. So my game is going to be developed and published by SNK.
Here we go.
Because it needs some of their top tier artists.
2D.
Oh yeah, 2D. Imagine the opening cutscene. All of the demons are down in hell, and they are chanting and they are cheering, and then the horns go up and the guitars start playing, and the title comes in: Monsters of Rock.
Oh no! Sounds like edgelord material there.
No, the devil has dragged the biggest rock stars in the world down to hell to fight for his favor, and it's going to be brutal.
I'm in.
So this one is going to be set up like a Smash Brothers game with wide multi-tiered arenas. Objective is to either kill your opponent or knock them off the side deeper into hell. All the stages are going to be based on famous tour and festival stages. So, for instance, the stage that was used in that 3-year-long Metallica tour for the Black Album, or Iron Maiden's touring stage from 2001 that they used in Rock in Rio. Yep. Or the infamous Back in Black stages that AC/DC had.
Firefest?
Maybe. I'm not going to put Ja Rule into this.
Why not?
Because, no. There's going to be 3 main modes for this one. First one is tournament mode, which is 1v1, leading through all the brackets, fighting up until you get to fight against the devil himself. Beat the devil, become the king of hell. That's all it's about.
Yes.
Then there's the tag team mode, 2v2. You got to complete the band effectively. And then there's Mosh Pit, 8 players. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So, but the big thing is the soundtrack, because a game like this is going to need a soundtrack. Soundtrack's probably going to be as important as the stars.
Oh yeah.
So
it's all Limp Bizkit.
No, so you see, soundtrack's going to be very expansive. It's going to be we'll say it's written by some metal luminary, maybe Mick Gordon. I don't know. Depends on what we're going to do with it.
Bob Rock.
But each musician will record a stem for each track. So when you fight, you get a unique combination. So, for example, James Hetfield's rhythm guitar against Mike Mangini's drums, or Geddy Lee's bass against Slash's guitar. So every time you'll hear the same tracks, but they're all played ever so slightly differently because it's different musicians playing them. But what we all want is the fighter lineup and the moves that they're going to have. And I've got quite the list here. This is non-exhaustive, and there will be extreme amounts of DLC for this. It's going to make Smash Bros. Ultimate look conservative. So we'll start off. I've already mentioned him, James Hetfield. His two main moves. So the way we're going to do this, just standard kind of beat 'em up moves, but everyone gets two special moves. So James Hetfield's ones are going to be Ride the Lightning. Similar enough, pulls out his guitar, lightning shatters down. Stig stole this idea from me. I'm telling you, because the other one of his is Hit the Lights, where everything goes dark, but James can see in night vision. Because everyone knows James Hetfield sees in night vision.
Yeah, he does. He eats a lot of carrots.
Yeah, ever since that pyrotechnics display went wrong in was it Chicago? Either way, he's had night vision. Next up, Kirk Hammett. He's got the Sandman, where he pulls in a tornado of sand that then punches someone off the side of the stage with a giant sandy fist.
Does he have his Boris Karloff guitar?
Well, he does, because he has to pull that out for his second move, Saint Anger, which is where he will pin down his opponent, use his guitar to beat them, going, "I promised guitar solo! I promised a guitar solo!"
Lots of slamming doors.
Next up, from Guns N' Roses, Slash. First of his moves is Night Train. That's right, it's a massive train that just comes through the arena. Second one, Civil War. Axl Rose jumps on stage and the two of them argue, and in the resulting melee, it gets all of the other competitors into it.
He's Axl Rose in his boxer shorts, please.
Of course he is. Man never gets dressed these days, but it's also fat Axl Rose.
In his boxer shorts.
With the cornrows.
You're in the jungle, baby!
Which is Mick Hucknall.
Yeah.
And Richard Branson somehow.
Somehow, yeah. Then from Iron Maiden, we're bringing Bruce Dickinson.
Be an aeroplane, please.
Well, Number of the Beast is going to get Flight 666 to crash into your opponent.
Nice.
He's obsessed with telling people he's a pilot.
Yep. And then the Trooper. Bruce Dickinson is going to channel Eddie and become Eddie for a moment to then punch someone, but it's Eddie in the Crimean War outfit.
Yes, from the album cover.
Yeah, yep. Then from Iron Maiden, bass player Steve Harris, bringing up his first special move, West Hammers.
Yeah, because that's all he wears.
Yeah, where literally his bass turns into a giant hammer.
Yep.
And then Aces High, where he gets to fight in a Spitfire and shoot your opponents.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Of course.
Yeah, then we're bringing in from Rush, Geddy Lee. His first spirit.
Has he got the longest entrance out of all the characters?
Of course he does. Flies in his own personal jet with an owl on the front. The first of his special moves is the Trees, where he starts to sing a lovely lilting lullaby as tree branches come out of the ground and kind of grab people and drag them down.
Yep.
And then the Spirit of Radio, which is quite similar to Ride the Lightning, but instead of it being lightning coming down from above, it's kind of sound waves blasting out. So it's kind of like an AoE blast. And great song.
Such a good song as well. Oof.
And from Judas Priest, we've got Rob Halford.
Oh, yeah. Killer himself.
Yeah, well, Painkiller is one of his special moves, where he will hold one of his opponents and he will dress him up in the fetish wear that he wears on stage and smash them into the ground. And then Breaking the Law, which then gets censored over the top because it takes the true literal meaning of what breaking the law is for, and unfortunately we can't show that to an audience.
No, dirty.
Then from Dream Theater, John Petrucci. He's quite a boring competitor, but he does a lot of damage, but it takes a lot of inputs to get the moves out. First one is Constant Motion, where he just keeps playing the guitar faster and faster and faster and faster, and then the person in front of him dies of boredom.
That's Dream Theater. You've encapsulated that perfectly.
Yep. And then his second move is the Glass Prison, which is which basically puts that person into a glass prison. They can't move, they can't fight, they're vulnerable to attack from all directions. That one's great in the 8-player melee.
And then they also die of boredom.
Then we get Ozzy Osbourne. In between backbiting, you get Bark at the Moon, where he turns into a werewolf.
Nice.
I love that image at end of that
music video. Yeah. The campest werewolf ever to exist.
So fucking good. I love blonde Ozzy. I love him so much.
And then No More Tears, where he holds them down and pours shampoo in their eyes.
Can a special move be getting Sharon out?
Sharon! Yeah.
She's not biting heads off bats either.
She just throws dog poo at people.
No, Ozzy, not wood, you'll get arrested.
Yeah, the biting of bats is just one of his normal moves.
Just his normal move.
Yeah. Then we're bringing in the big hard hitters here. The real OGs. Jack Black.
Yes.
Rigagoo.
Yes, with his first special move, Wonder Boy, where he becomes a superhero who can kill a yak from 200 yards away with mind bullets.
That's telekinesis, Kyle.
There we go. About the power to move you. And then his other move is referred to as the D, which that one gets censored as well.
Yeah.
And last up, because you can't have one without the other, Kyle Gass.
The actual musician.
The actual musician of the band. who brings up his two special moves are the tribute, where he will just start playing tribute and all the other fighters will stop. Because you can't do anything when someone starts playing tribute on a guitar. And his other one is Classico, where he starts playing Bach music so fast, and his costume changes to be kind of 17th century Regency, and then everyone is like all clapping impressive, and he smashes them over the head with his guitar.
Brilliant.
The Devil is to be played by Dave Grohl in the Tenacious D guys.
My fucking horn!
Yeah. More rock stars to be unlocked via a DLC and season pass system, including historic, read dead, rock stars, including Jimi Hendrix, Lemmy, Meatloaf, and more.
Oh, Lemmy's immortal.
Oh, Meatloaf
He's not
would
dead, really.
Meatloaf would have some great.
One of his moves, heart attack.
But that's my idea. Monsters of rock. And the whole idea would be all the characters in it. Obviously, it's like kind of cartoony, stylized, like the actual graphics of it. But it would be those musicians being in it, doing voice lines, recording their stems for the tracks. So that's why the dead rock stars would have to be DLC, because you can't have them do that. It's not impossible. It's just more difficult.
That's the one that would potentially get made.
Actually,
Yeah.
it would.
Yeah,
I'd play it.
We've seen weirder games. I mean, I'm surprised you haven't put Marilyn Manson in it as the baddie.
No, because he actually is.
Then
a
you'd
baddie.
have to pay him, wouldn't you?
And then you have
we
to
don't
pay
give
him.
him money. And he's like, I always give him money. I still give him money today.
No.
I love him.
Not Brian.
He's my god.
No.
He's my god. Brian, come to me, Brian.
No.
You were very Stewie Griffin. Brian.
Brian. Excellent. All excellent. Fantastic. We are creative geniuses. All those games are going to be made. They're going to be made. So, as always, links to all our extracurricular activities are in the show notes and at modernescapism.co.uk. And please consider becoming a patron to help support our endeavour. And again, please give us 5-star reviews. I mean, it don't cost you anything.
No.
At all. And we get like little dopamine kicks from it.
Make us happy.
And it gets us up
awareness.
in the charts.
Yeah, charts, man. Come on. Christmas #1. Let's become them. The Christmas #1 podcast.
I don't think that's a thing, is it?
We're starting it
It's
this
now.
year.
We'll make
It's
it a
now.
thing.
It is now.
We'll be at the top anyway.
Next week, it's our patron vote. This week, we're giving you a Christmas treat. We're going to let you vote for 5 things, one from each of us. You guys, as patrons, choose. If you're not patrons, you're fucking idiots. So
Stop abusing the audience, Oodles.
no, they are tight. It costs £1 to become a patron. £1 English pound plus VAT. Yes, if you are not a patron, this is the end of the episode for you. And see you next week. But if you're a patron, we'll meet you around the back. Bye!
Bye.
Bye, fuck nuts.
Yeah, let him have his toilet break. You could have just gone. I do. Here we go, slow.
Just
A complicated locking system.
I am
doesn't
defending
even
him.
work because the door that he's got it to goes with the door. So pointless. Doesn't work.
I'm keeping that in, by the way.